us helping them before they had that, logging those incidents, telling them to stop work, get tied off, how you're loading your equipment and all those things. That was us out there paying attention, doing our job, helping them do that. And that's what, American is our program, right? Like the safety's on our backs, right? And it's directly related to us, but safety's always number one. And over the years, I've had to develop a way to keep it number one. And generally, I'll walk out to a job, and as I'm walking, the first thing I look at is safety. What's going on? Scaffold. I quickly look at the scaffold. Do I see a ladder? Do I see everything tied off correctly? Toe boards, all the stuff. And then, if it looks good, I keep going. And same with the guy on a ladder, as you say. Whatever is going on as I'm walking towards it, I just quickly have to ask, is it safe? Mm-hmm. Right? So that's kind of my method. Whatever we're doing, I just stop and ask, is it safe? Does it look right? And then if it's yes, I just keep going. If it's no, let me go take a harder look real quick. And it usually doesn't take that long to address the situation if I find something. But for you guys, I don't know what your tips are, like how you make it a priority every day. Do you have it in your calendar to go walk the job? I know you're project managers, so a lot of your superintendent, field engineer guys are doing that. But
that's true.
But you were both in the field at some point, right? And
you mentioned the JHA. I mean, it starts there. I mean, when you start to plan an activity, make sure that you account for.
Yeah, but how do you go in the field? How do you manage it? Like if the job's blowing up,
it's basically the
not
same.
lose focus.
Basically the same thing. You go out there, and whatever you're looking at, you have to look at it in the mindset of safety as well as getting the job done. You have to do both of them.
But do you have a focused time you do that, or is it just kind of like sporadically throughout the week? You need to go look at something.
Since I'm mostly a desk jockey, I do it. I consolidate the effort. I don't go out there and look for safety and then I come back.
I get it.
But when I walk out there and I'm looking at something, I look at safety as I go. Yeah.
So it's kind of there as you're walking.
Yes.
It's just ingrained, right? Like you see an extension cord, you automatically round prong, wires. No, okay, we're good.
Well, and like where we're at right now, you got steel erection going on. My first eye is tie off. Like, are we tied off? Like, if we're in a scissor that's working, great, but if we're, I mean, those
already
guys
tied off, and then is it right?
Yeah, right. Is it right? Yeah.
Those guys,
we talk about what
Did we do it? When we talk about it in the pre-con meeting, and they said, hey, we're going to do A, B, and C. Are they doing it?
No, they aren't.
And then if they're not doing it, who are we going to talk to? And I sure don't talk to the guy at the pre-con meeting. I'll talk to the owner.
Let's take that scenario. What do you do? So you talked about it. They're out there. They are doing something completely different than what you talked about, what you were promised. Now,
Well, it's exactly what Corey just said. Straight to the owner. You go to the top of the chain. You go to the top of the chain.
go out there and try to finagle it because they're not doing what they said they would do, right?
Yeah. And if it's unsafe, you got to stop it, right? Ultimately, that's the first thing. We got to stop it right away. Come down. Don't escalate the situation because they're going to want to fight with you. Or maybe that guy just didn't know because that worker wasn't in the meeting, but his foreman should know.
So you're going to call the owner and get him out here to deal with the situation.
That's correct.
And have a meeting with the guys and figure out why it wasn't done the way you would ask it to be done.
Especially like steel erection. I mean, that's like you were talking about. That's 6 stories of fall. It could be,
Yeah, but that's the nice thing about the meeting, though, is so when you're having the meeting and they tell you what they're going to do versus you telling them, at that point you're not being punitive. Say, hey, you said you were going to do this, and that's what you need to be doing, but you're not doing it.
You're not making it your problem.
It's correctly. I'm making it their problem to address. I'm just reminding them of their commitment to do so.